Hey guys, good morning. Nobody on the stream. I'll just do a quick recording. This 18 area is huge to overcome on AMC. And the reason it is, I'm using Fibonacci extensions and I'm using 10-year charts to look for areas of resistance. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but people do. There are institutions in AMC. There are people that have held AMC for years and years. The reason AMC is such a pivot point at 18 is looking back over the 5-year chart, and you can see these Fibonacci and trend lines, and they are accurate of areas of energy. And once we broke through the 18, now you can see it just rocketing. It's going to go into the 20s, right around 20-ish or more. It just needs more time, but you can kind of see these little bull wedges popping in different areas of energy. Doesn't mean that they just stop on a dime there, but these are little pivot points too in areas of energy. You can kind of see how along this little line right here we kind of failed and then back tested, and once we couldn't get back up against it and through it, we failed and then came back down to this ascending trend line. And then once we got back up, we had a little agitation along that same exact line, even though it's not at a horizontal area that's equal. And then it popped right through, and then 18 was literally a huge number, and you can see I drew that number a long time ago. And then we pulled back, and then we fired back up and through it, and that was huge. Once it got through there, the volume was monstrous. And the reason 18 is a big number, because if you look back on like a 10-year daily, and like I said, these numbers are only matter in the short term. If you literally go back, I believe this is 2018. You have a nice upward trend in AMC, and this is literally a gap break pivot drop where it never looked back. So a lot of stranded money in the 18 area. That's why you see people that maybe sell there, and as the crowd starts to overwhelm them as buyers come in, these guys they went out in the short term. That's why you saw the pre-market dip, and then they eventually they get overwhelmed, and there's not, the selling dries up and the guys push through there. So that's why that's a spring point. Next area is obviously around 1970 on this wick right here, 1980. So you get up through there. Now if you clear this 2050 area, wow, I don't even know where you go from there, to be honest with you. You're probably going to start to get up probably 23, 24. And if it did that today, that would be pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. But we'll see how it goes from there. So let's just say top target today. And I hate to say these on these stocks because who the hell knows where they can go. I mean, if you got 22 or 23 today before it recharges and whatever the hell it does tomorrow, that would be stupendous. So keep an eye on that. TMBR is another one that I'm watching. Just has this long base chart here, and it's been acting interesting the last few days. And you got a nice little pullback today. Let's look that on a Fibonacci. Just looking for stuff that hasn't run so far yet, So we're kind of at the 50% retracement, which will be the battleground between the bulls and the bears. So you can kind of see how we hit here. And then now we're kind of bouncing off that $1.61 area. We're literally right there, $1.62, $1.63. Speculative biotech, I think they got about 20% short float. But it could be one to watch. It could be interesting. We've seen high prices. Just some fun stocks for you to take a look at. And then a couple ETFs out today. Let me look at EDSA too. Someone asked me about the EDSA. That looks a little wonky. Let's look at the 1-year daily. They keep selling into the wicks. I don't really like that one. I'll be back on later, obviously. I'm going to be trading this morning. And then obviously there's GameStop, and we've been given price targets all along using Fibonacci's. I said 265 would hit today, and that was based on a different Fibonacci that I was using, and I tweeted that on StockTwits. I think it was 265.80 was my target. and I think we already hit that intraday pre-market. I mean, we well exceeded that. The 4 a.m. crew blew this thing up to 365, and I believe there's another Fibonacci extension at 390 ish. But I changed my Fibonacci to move kind of more in line with how the price is moving right now, using different base point breakouts and stuff like that. So we'll see. I mean, you can see how these areas come into play. You kind of pop through, and then that becomes a support level, and then you hit here, blow through it, and then kind of go back and test it and bounce around, go back up and retest it and fail. So that 268 area, I believe it is going to be a little bit of a energy area if we push through there, and then you're going to make another run. Probably, who the heck knows, maybe up to 320. And then, like I said, there is an extension at 390, I think, on GameStop. Unbelievable. I mean, I don't even know if people are like the owner of the company, the CEO. What's he got? How many shares does he have? What about the employees that are in, with a couple thousand shares at, $4 or $5 in stock options? Like, holy crap. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a little bit.